सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। The next two verses we'll be studying in this session have to do with the process of getting to the place of withdrawing from the sense objects and abiding more in oneself. Because the withdrawal from the sense objects is very much necessary for abiding in oneself. As you know, moksha and samsara cannot be had side by side. So we will look at verses number 28 and 29. कूपे यथा गाढजले तथान्तः कूपे यथा गाढजले तथान्तः निमज्य बुद्ध्या शितया नितान्तम् निमज्य बुद्ध्या शितया नितान्तम् प्राणं च वाचं च नियम्य चिन्वन् प्राणं च वाचं च नियम्य चिन्वन् विन्दे निजाहङ्कृतिमूलरूपम् विन्दे निजाहङ्कृतिमूलरूपम् कूपे यथा गाढजले तथान्तः निमज्य बुद्ध्या शितया नितान्तम् प्राणं च वाचं च नियम्य चिन्वन् विन्दे निजाहङ्कृतिमूलरूपम् मौनेन मज्जन्मनसा स्वमूल मौनेन मज्जन्मनसा स्वमूल चर्चैव सत्यात्मविचारणं स्यात् चर्चैव सत्यात्मविचारणं स्यात् एषोऽहमेतन्न मम स्वरूपम् एषोऽहमेतन्न मम स्वरूपम् इति प्रमा सत्यविचारणाङ्गम् इति प्रमा सत्यविचारणाङ्गम् मौनेन मज्जन्मनसा स्वमूल चर्चैव सत्यात्मविचारणं स्यात् एषोऽहमेतन्न मम स्वरूप इति प्रमा सत्यविचारणाङ्गम्. Two examples are given. One is that of a deep and deep well. यथा गाढजले कूपे तथा अन्तः निमज्य शितया बुद्ध्या नितान्तम्. Nitantam means, see, this is what it is. So, the going within oneself is like plunging into a well of deep water. And the deep, so when you plunge into the deep water, what happens? The external world of sights, sounds, etc. is not there. You are concentrated only on the breathing. You have to breathe properly if you are underwater now. And the outside world above the water is just for all practical purposes gone. And you are you have a heightened and keen awareness of whatever is happening internally. Here internally doesn't mean anything except within the body, mind, sense complex, the breath, the prana, etc. How you regulate, modulate the prana, all that you are aware. And even if somebody is calling your name from above the well, you barely even hear because you are plunged in. This is the example. So just like that, So, nimajya shitaya buddhya nitantam. So, one must constantly strive to dive deep within with a sharp intellect, a honed in intellect. Honed in intellect means the intellect that is directed towards Atma Vichar. So that means spending some time in solitude. No solitude, no moksha. Really? Really? No, but you just said Atma is not opposed to noise. Yes, Atma is not opposed to noise. Do you know that? No, I don't know that. Okay, keep quiet and listen. That's all. That's all we can say. Once you know, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in a fish market, you can be in the middle of the noisiest place on earth. Doesn't matter, you are never away from yourself. These two verses are not directed towards the jnani. Oh, are they directed towards the ajnani? Ajnani will not be interested in these verses. If you tell the ajnani to dive deep, oh, you want me to go scuba diving, you want me to go surfing, that's what they will ask. So who is this for? It's not for the jnani, because the jnani knows. The ajnani doesn't know, doesn't want to know. Who is this for? The jnani wannabe. The wannabe jnani. This is what it is. The one who is got the commitment. What should I do? How should I get from ajna to vigya? How should I do that? I am studying, but what should I do? How to unplug from all these sensory chaos, the sensory overload, and how to recharge from within, how to do Atma inquiry. So just like the diving into a deep well immediately removes all kinds of what? Distractions. Similarly, with a sharp mind, a buddhi that is honed in and focused on Atma Vichara, I go deep within myself. And then further, what else do I do? Pranam cha vacham cha niyamya chinvan. Chinvan means gathering. Gathering the prana. Prana means the breath. You see, if you quieten, if you observe the breathing and quieten the breathing, guess what else becomes quiet automatically? The mind becomes very quiet. There's a connection between the mind and the breathing. So you quieten the breathing, and then this one, Ramana Maharshi says, please stop talking. Yeah. Vacham. Vacham is speech. Chinvan, gathering the speech. Gathering the speech means what? Gathering it means not spending it. That's what it means. Gather it. Everything does not always have to be articulated. Everything does not always have to be said. The space in conversations does not always have to be filled. Oh, but what will they think? You know, we have a disease. It's called what will they think-itis. Okay? Yeah. Its symptoms are always wondering about other people. I'm not living my own life. How can I go within if I'm wondering what you are thinking? Can I control what you are thinking? No. Then why should I even go there? So here, this is my moksha, this is my Atma Vichara, this is my enquiry, and I'm going to take the time. And if anybody has any objection to my saying I'm going to sit for a few minutes and meditate, then, it's their problem, it's not my problem. And this is what has to be totally and properly understood. So, pranam cha vacham cha chinvan, gathering together the prana, means not wasting the prana. Like not just shallow breathing, and breathing consciously, breathing so that the mind quietens down, and then keeping quiet. Because when we keep quiet, actually there is something which is very, very, there is, the speech they say is powerful, but the real power lies in silence. Somebody says something, you don't say anything. Who will feel uncomfortable? The other person will feel uncomfortable. Oh my God, because they will have what will they think it is. You don't need to have what will they think it is. It's not that you are using silence as a power move. That's not what I'm suggesting. Use silence as a way to not engage in matters that do not require engagement. Everything doesn't need to be commented on. Everything does not need to be answered. Everything does not need to be, engaged with. This is what it says. The 18th one, very beautiful practice. So then what happens? Vindet, may one find nija ahankriti, one's own ego, moola rupam, nija ahankritehe moola rupam. So may one find the truth, the root of the ahankara, which is what? Satchidanandam Brahma. That which even upholds the I notion, that is what it is, and may I please find that. And finding that is connected with going deep within. The next one, maunena, with silence, majjan manasa swamula charcha eva satya atma vicharanam syat. So the silent diving of the mind into one's true self, into one's swarupa, that alone is the talk. Only talk is self-talk. And this is coming from the Upanishad. Anya vacha pramunchata esha amritasya setuhu. Kathopanishad says, give up all other talk. Other talk means what? Other than Vedanta. This is actually a nice sadhana, a weekend sadhana. People say, how do I do this? How do I do this? Try this on the weekend. Talk only Vedanta. Oh, but everybody else will run away. Let them. That's what you want. Very politely, they are gone even without you telling, get out. I need to meditate. You start talking about Ramana Maharshi, people will go, gone. I just remembered something. Be right back. And they will not be right back. This is good. And those who stay will be your allies. That's wonderful. Let those who go, go. So this is what it is. Talk only Vedanta, and that is a sadhana for you. It's also a benefit to others. And then Eshaha aham etan namama. This alone, the truth of all this alone I am. None of this is me. I am all this, but none of this is me. Perfect Vedantic, paradox. Everything is me. I am not any one of them. Prana is me. Speech is me. Mind is me. Because it's all me. But am I the mind? No, I'm not the mind. I'm not the mind. I'm not the prana. Why? What am I? Satchidananda. I'm a limitless consciousness which supports prana, which supports mind, without which nothing is there. Everything is I am not any one thing. Ocean is wave, wave is not ocean. This is what we have to understand. And so through this kind of a practice, one grows in strength. And growing in strength, what happens? One is able to get to the place of a certain ghanata, a certain presence. One is able to live this presence of oneself as Satchidanandam Brahma in a way that actually is palpable. It is said that when Buddha was meditating, for 100-mile radius around him, nothing was sick. Everything, whether it was tree, animals, people, whoever came, felt wonderful. Why? Because that is the power of moksha. That is the power of knowing this truth. Even around Ramana Maharshi, he hardly spoke. Very little he spoke. Very rarely he spoke. But just to sit with him, people came from so many countries. Imagine that too in those days, people are traveling from, there was this person from Germany who really forced him to talk, and because of him we have some, what's its name, some books of Ramana Maharshi's teaching. But most of the time he was silent. To even sit next to a silent sage, imagine people spending their money and their time and coming just to sit with a silent sage. That means what? There is something they are getting out of it. They are getting a reflection of their own nature. They are understanding who they really are. And because they are being invited to delve into Ramana Maharshi's nature, which is not separate from one's own nature. This is how they are. That is why they came from so far and so wide. And even same thing, whether it was Swami Dayananda Ji or any Mahatma, people would come from everywhere just to have a chance to sit with that person. And so this means that when this knowledge starts to shine in you, everybody notices. And even if it is the significant other who said, oh, you keep going to Upanishad classes, you keep going to Gita classes, after a while they will be the first one to send you. You haven't gone for a retreat, please go. Because not only you are benefiting, they see that they are also benefiting. This is how it transforms. This is how it is very beautiful. And then the next verse we will see is 38, I think. Yes. So this has to do with the with how again talking about phala of what? Atmajnana, the fruit of self-knowledge. What is that? Okay. Karomi karme, 38. Karomi karmeti naro vijanan. Karomi karmeti naro vijanan. Badhyo bhavet karma phalancha bhoktum. Badhyo bhavet karma phalancha bhoktum. Vicharadhuta hridi kartrita chet. Vicharadhuta hridi kartrita chet. Karmatrayam nashyati saiva muktihi. Karmatrayam nashyati saiva muktihi. Karomi karmeti naro vijanan. Badhyo bhavet karma phalancha bhoktum. Vicharadhuta hridi kartrita chet. Karmatrayam nashyati saiva muktihi. This is the problem. Aham karma karomi. What is the translation? I perform action. This is the problem. Because where is the I? In the performance of as the agent of action. Aham karma karomi. So why are you doing karma? Why are you performing action? For what? For the sake of karma phala. Nobody performs action just for that. Bhogaya karma. For the sake of enjoyment, for the sake of karma phala. Otherwise, who performs karma? Nobody does any action. If I do action, I want something as a result. So the person who is cooking breakfast, if you ask them, what are you cooking for? And if they say, no reason, are you going to eat it? No. Are you going to invite some people? No. What are you doing? After breakfast, I'll start cooking lunch. Nobody says that. You cook in order to eat. You work for 5 days in order to have 2 days off. You work for a whole year in order to have 2 weeks off. This is why one does. And you work for the whole life in order to have the rest of the life off. Called what? Retirement. Nobody does just for the sake of doing. Who does? Even the most altruistic person. I am doing social work. Samaja Seva. You ask the person, oh, all these people are needing this. That's why I am doing. Okay, don't do. Let them need. No. I feel bad if they are needing. So why are you doing social service? Because if by doing social service, what will happen? I will feel good. I want to feel good. That is why I do. I want to reap the results of action. That is why I do. So the karta, which is me, the agent of action, becomes what? The experiencer of results of action. What is the truth? Who am I? Am I the doer or am I the experiencer? Neither. Neither the doer nor the experiencer. Why? Because I am that which sustains, supports the concept of the doer and the concept of the experiencer without being either doer or experiencer. This is exactly the truth of the I. But not knowing that, people keep getting into this loop. Doer, experiencer, karta bhokta, karta bhokta, in between pramata, karta bhokta, pramata, nowhere. And then because of that, one suffers. Badhyo bhavet. One becomes bound. Once one is the performer of action, one becomes bound to the results of action. The results of action do not accrue to the neighbor, they accrue to me. So if it is a good result of action, it becomes addictive. If it is a bad result of action, then I want to get away and I want to redo. I want the karma 2.0. I want to redo it. I want to update the karma to get the better results next time. And so forever I remain attached to the notion I am the doer, and then forever I remain bound by, as it's so to speak, by the notion I am the experiencer of the results of action. Then Vicharadhuta. Vicharadhuta means the hridi, kartrita chet. Kartrita vicharadhuta hridi chet. So Vicharadhuta means washed off. Washed off by enquiry in the heart if this doership is. If this doership by self-enquiry is washed off. How to wash off doership? Tell yourself, keep remembering the truth of the I as neither doer nor the recipient of other people's doings or your own doings. I am neither karta nor bhokta. The one who understands finally, that is the one who has done vichara. What is karta? Karta is a position superimposed upon the Atma that is free of doership. What is bhokta? Experiencer. Experiencer is a superimposition, an epithet that is superimposed upon the Atma that is free of being experiencer. Neither doer I am, nor experiencer I am. What am I? That which sustains the doer, that which sustains the experiencer, without becoming doer, without becoming experiencer. It's just like there are two waves in the ocean, karta wave, bhokta wave. Both of them are what? Non-separate from the ocean. But the ocean is not either the karta or the bhokta. I am that oceanic consciousness, limitless, free and whole, over which the kartritvam is as though superimposed, like even the snake is seen over the what? Rope. That's why it's called aropa. That is the superimposition. The aropa happens because why? The rope is not known. The unknown rope becomes a sitting duck for aropa, for superimposition of what? Snake. What kind of snake? Rope snake. So I mistake the rope for the snake. Why? Because I don't know rope. I mistake the Atma for Karta. Why? Because I don't know Atma. How to know Atma? come to more retreats, study more online. That's all. Keep studying. That's how. And then knowing and abiding. And these practices we saw, the last two verses were full of practices of how to abide. So it's not enough to just listen. We have to take what we hear and live it. I won't say put it into practice, because this is not a theory which you go home and practice. It's not like a chemistry lab. No. But you live this knowledge, you assimilate it deeper if you live this knowledge. Less talking, more being. Less outwardly, more inwardly. These are all the ways to practice. So one is bound by if one is bound by the notion I am the actor, one is bound to, what is that? By the notion I am the experiencer of the results of action. When these notions are washed off, when the notion that I am a doer is washed off, then karmatrayam nashyati sa eva muktihi. This is moksha. Karmatrayam, 3 forms of karma are destroyed. 3 forms of karma, what are they?
Agami.
Sanchita, agami and prarabdha. First we'll discuss sanchita. Sanchita means what? An unending amount of karma. If you have had one human life, it's enough. There's an unending amount of karma. I thought only Brahman is limitless, but Sanchita is also limitless. Yes, Sanchita has no beginning and it is limitless. Out of that, you take enough for one chapati, like a dough. Think of Sanchita as a lot of dough, and then you take enough, you break off enough. Bhagavan breaks off enough for one chapati if you are born in India, or one pizza if you are born in America. And then what do? And then what you put it in the oven. Tandoori roti. What is this oven? Oven of samsara, where this chapati is cooked, eaten, etc. So what I have to experience in this one life is called prarabdha. Where does the material for the prarabdha come from? Sanchita. Then if it is a human life, it's not that I'm just eating my prarabdha and then going, because that's what dogs do. Dogs don't accrue karma. Even if dog, donkey, cat, they don't accrue karma. If I stand behind a donkey and the donkey kicks me, who has the problem? Me or the donkey? Me. Donkey doesn't know not to kick. I should know. If I stand behind the donkey, I'll get a nice kick. I should know that. I should not stand behind the donkey. Why? Because the donkey has freedom of action. It feels like a good kick, it kicks. It does not have freedom to not kick. This is the thing. The human being has the freedom to kick and to not kick. Donkey doesn't have the freedom. So even if the donkey kicks a sadhu, it does not collect karma. So, therefore, the human being is not just going to live out the prarabdha, is going to mind other people's business. He's going to say, what are you doing over there? Oh, I want what you have. And when they're not looking, I'll take it for myself. This is what I do. This is what? Agami karma. What I do now also goes where? To Sanchita. This is what the threefold prarabdha, karmatrayam, called here as karmatrayam. These 3 karmas are always chasing the human being. But really speaking, the karma is a dream. It's a model until one gains this self-knowledge. Vidyate hridaya granthihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. When this avara, the lowly being who thinks I am separate from everyone, sees that I am truly Brahman, para, then all karmas just collapse. The heart knot of ignorance is torn asunder. The heart knot of ignorance comes apart, and then what? Chidyante sarva samshayaha, all doubts come to rest and all the karmas are gone. But how are the karmas gone? Because that was then, this is now. I told you the waking ajnani and the sleeping jnani are one and the same. I told you that. And so here too, it's exactly like this. It's like, let's say you have a dream that 3 fellows are chasing you. They are catching up, and you're kicking in your dream, and some family member wakes you up. It's just a dream. Relax, have this glass of water. Appa, you wake up, you have the glass of water. Then do you start running again? No. What happened to those 3 fellows? Gone. What happened to the dream? Gone. Why? Because I'm awake to a new reality. Similarly, the person who has falsified the karta through the teaching of Atma Jnanam has no more karma. Karta falsified, results of karma are also falsified. If the notion I am a doer is falsified, I don't accept that I am a doer, then whatever I do does not accrue to me. Of course, this knowledge has to come only after what? After some prerequisites have been gained, like dharma, etc. Otherwise, it will be the defense of every serial killer. Not guilty, Your Honor. On what ground? By the grounds of me being not a doer. Everybody will get off. So first, that's why the Veda puts you on a diet of dharma, accountability, responsibility, taking stock of what I have done, etc., etc. And then after that, it is given up. Because I understand this kartritvam is just a superimposition, like the snake over the rope. There is no snake really. What I need to do is get to know the rope. I don't need to find out what brand snake is there. Do I need to see if it is a cobra or a rattlesnake? Will it help me to analyze the snake? No. If I spend time analyzing the snake, I'm wasting the time. What kind of a snake am I analyzing? A non-existent snake. I should know the rope. So similarly, I'm not interested in karta. Analyzing the karta, because the karta is anatma. I go to the atma, and when I know the atma, I don't take myself to be karta. If I don't take myself to be the karta, then the karma does not accrue to me. Simple. The karma does not accrue to me. I am not a bhokta, neither karta nor bhokta. I am neither the doer nor the done in. I am not the doer. I am not done in by my own or other people's doings. Very nice. And so that is the one. And then the last verse we will be studying is the very next one. Very beautiful it also is. Baddhatva bhave sati moksha chinta. Bhave sati moksha chinta. Bandhastu kasyeti vicharanena. Bandhastu kasyeti vicharanena. Siddhe swayam swatmani nityamukte.
Siddhe swayam swatmani nityamukte.
What is that next? Yeah. Kva bandha chinta, kva cha moksha chinta. Kva bandha chinta, kva cha moksha chinta. Baddhatva bhave sati moksha chinta. Bandhastu kasyeti vicharanena. Siddhe swayam swatmani nityamukte. Kva bandha chinta, kva cha moksha chinta. So if I feel I am bound, then only I struggle for to be free. Correct? If I have the notion of bondage, then only I want freedom. Alright? And then but then what do I have to do is bandha hatu kasya. Who is the one that is bound? I have to think. Who is bound? Body is bound? Yes. Mind is bound? Yes. Senses are bound? Yes. Therefore, I am bound? Wrong. No. In the 70s, they had in India, in Delhi, they had a Go Raksha, like anti-cow slaughter movement. Lot of sadhus joined. Even the sadhus went from Rishikesh to Delhi on train. In those days, if you wore orange, you could hop on the train and not give any money. Okay? Yeah, those days are gone because many people started to impersonate sadhus and travel by first AC. So they stopped that. So, but in those days, hordes of people, activist sadhus, because they were very deeply pained that there was cow slaughter, etc., they all protested in front of Lok Sabha, front of the parliament. And then they were clapped and thrown in jail. A strange thing happened. Week after week, more and more sadhus came and courted arrest, and they were all trapped, slapped in prison. Nobody knew what was happening until one of those sadhus approached Pujya Swamiji and said, Maharajji, you must come and protest. Swamiji said, sorry, I'm not the protesting type. No, you don't understand. They will arrest you. And Swamiji said, why is he glorifying this arrest? You get a room all to yourself. 3 times food without standing in line for bhiksha. You can take your Gita, nobody disturbs. You can just meditate and just be. They thought this was a holiday. Yeah, because the ashram means, these are all, with Mahatma's ashram means they had to administrate, they had to sign checks, they had to go, what is that, big headaches, buy things, make sure the people were fed, who is in which room, all this they had to do. Here, 3-4 days, full holiday. Attached bathroom, they said. Attached bathroom, you get to study the Gita non-stop, nobody disturbs. This is what for everybody else it is what? Jail. Oh no, for these people it's a holiday, Nididhyasana type holiday. And then the government quickly found out that these people are just courting arrest to get the free food and they had to just stay there without going in line and all these things, and they released everybody. Stone walls do not a prison make, nor do the something it is there. Stone walls do not a prison make, nor do the bars of an iron cage. This is what it is. This is the freedom is within. These were all free people. These were all Mahatmas. They said, hey, let's go to Delhi. Delhi chalo. Let's go to Delhi for a nice holiday. Wonderful. Solitary confinement. So, and the best part was, in the cold season, they didn't have to stand in line and go somewhere else to get their food. It was given to them. Usually, bhiksha means they will eat once or twice a day. But here, 3 times, breakfast is coming into the room. Wow! And so, really, what is bondage? You can't trap a sadhu. You can't, you can put them in chains, but they are internally free. So here, kasya bandhaha, kasya mokshaha, we have to see who is the one who says, I am bound. Where is this notion of bondage? The notion of bondage is as though superimposed upon that which is free from bondage. That means tat. And what is that tat? Tvam. You. On that I which is free of bondage, I give a narration of bondage. And then what? And then I cry, I am bound. I just am constrained, I am confined, I don't know what to do. Help me, save me. And some theologies oblige. Yes, I'll save you. That's why Pujya Swamiji's prayer for the new millennium was what? Oh Lord, please save me from all saviors. This is what he said. So, So therefore, this verse tells us that one is not even bound. Then why am I here? I thought I came to get moksha. Does that mean I shouldn't attend any more retreats? Well, if you take this seriously, yes. There is nothing more to do, there is nothing more to understand except the fact that I am not really bound. This bondage that I sense about, it's a notion of bondage. This notion of bondage is as though a superimposition which may be confined to the body, mind, sense complex, not to the I, which is witnessing the bondage. The witnesser does not share with with whatever is witnessed. The witnesser is only the witnesser. The witnesser is not affected by what is witnessed. The witness is free. And so then, bandhastu kasya iti. For whom is this bondage? To the one who says, I am bound, which is what? Ahankara. To the ahankara, the bondage belongs. The notion that I am bound belongs to the I notion, which is an impostor, which parades as the Atma, but which is a masquerader. And what does it do? It basically identifies with the body, mind, sense complex and cries. What does it say? I am bound, save me. And then Siddhe Swayam Swatmani Nityamukte Swatmani Swayam Siddhe. When I know, this is all Sati Saptami, absolute locative construction, when this I, which is Nitya Mukta, always free, when the always free I is known as ever liberated, ever free, then when that is understood, Siddhe Sati means when this knowledge takes place, Kvacha Bandha Chinta, Kvacha Moksha Chinta. Where is the question of bondage? Where is the question of freedom? As though bound, as though free, as though meditating, as though distracted, as though eating, as though drinking, as though studying, as though going to the Guru, as though gaining knowledge. All is as though, and the Atma was always free. Even before you came to the Guru, it was free. Even after you leave the Guru, it is free. This is what has to be understood. And the rest of the verses are a stuti, one by the translator, a stuti of Ramana Maharshi and a stuti, a praise of the verses themselves. So that is how, on this glorious note of what is bondage, what is moksha, and let us really deliberate and inquire into that. Because even the person who suffers from a notion of bondage in sleep, are they bound? Not at all. No bondage in sleep. It says in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the prisoner who is aware I am imprisoned in sleep is free. In sleep is no imprisonment at all. That means what? It is a superimposition. That I am bound is a superimposition. That I have to strive for moksha is also a superimposition. That I am now free is superimposition, because what is the truth? I was always free. I am ever free. I am ever liberated, never bound. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. There are some questions. How do we assimilate 24/7? Why didn't you also write 24/7, 365? So, Maya is magnetically pulling us in day-to-day duties. We tell ourselves they are duties. But are they really duties? We have to understand. We have to ask. No, I have parental duty. How old are you? 85. How old is your quote-unquote child? 65. Okay, stop parenting. You cannot have parental duties. The problem with Indians is they don't know when to stop parenting. No. The parental duties continue because somebody told me in Washington DC, please make my son listen to me. I said, how old are you? How old is your son? 62. I said, doesn't matter, let him not listen. This gentleman is 85. His son is 62. Please make him listen to me. Why should he listen to you? This is the problem. We don't know when to stop parenting. We hold on and on and on and on. And the parental duties turn into grandparental duties, turn into great-grandparental duties, turn into great-great-grand-grandparental duties. If one is still in the body. By that time. Let them have their lives. Leave them. Let them be. And so duty must not become a notion, like without it I should be able to be free. I am choosing to do this duty. This is good. I am not saying Swadharma is not good. Do Swadharma. Swadharma includes study. Study is also Swadharma. Swadhyayaha adhyatavyaha. One must study one's Veda, it says. So Vedanta included in the Veda is also Swadharma. One forgets that. Duty means what? Oh, they want this, they need this. They need not have everything they want. Okay? You can say, this time I'm not doing this. Or you can tell everybody, I've had a transformation. And this has been coming in my life. Thanks to all the teachers I have been listening to, I'm having this transformation. And this means that I will be withdrawing a little more. And I may not be, I still love you, I care about all of you. I may not be as available as at the drop of the hat as I have been, because even that availability for me is more of a pattern rather than a choice. So from now on I'll be available. You can decide once a week, once a month, whatever it is. You can't blame Maya. It's nothing to do with Maya. Okay? Poor Maya. She becomes the whipping girl. Maya means all knowledge. She is Ishvara's Shakti. So, you tell your friends, I'm not going to be coming to potlucks. Afterwards, don't change your mind and go. Okay? You have to be strong. I'm not going to be socializing as much. You make it a social fact. And then they feel included. And in the beginning, they will have some feelings. In the beginning, they'll need a shoulder to cry on and all these things, but they will adjust. We can't, loving people does not mean making them dependent on ourselves. That is not the purpose or the definition of love. If you make them dependent on you, neither they feel good nor you feel good. You made plenty of mistakes in your life, let them also make a few. They will also get up, they will also brush themselves off, they will also be the wiser as a result. So, we have to slowly outgrow the marriage, outgrow the parenting, outgrow the grandparenting, outgrow what we call duties. Slowly we have to do that. That is how to live. How to look at sleep. You cannot look at sleep because you are asleep. I look towards going to sleep. I desire happiness out of sleep. Yes, that's all it is. Sleep makes you happy. That is wonderful. Because in sleep you are one with the whole. You are one with Brahman. You are one with Ishvara. There is no duality. That's why it is oneness. But you are not there to enjoy the oneness. That's why you enjoy it only in hindsight. Okay? Yeah. Next one. Why Bhagavan Ramana cites the heart as the location of the eye, not the mind? Where is the mind? Tell me. Mind has no location. Mind is also in the heart. According to the Shastra, when you say, I am the I have done this, where do you tap? Yeah, you don't say I have done this. That's a different emoji called face palm emoji. Okay, that's Ayyo. I. Naturally, this is across all cultures. It's not that the Chinese people go I. No, everybody goes I. This is the heart of the matter. This is where the I resides. The I has no location. Ahamkara resides here. That's what the I notion, the mind, the heart resides here. That is what is said. How does one know there is life after life? One doesn't. It's a non-verifiable belief. Nobody has been to the afterlife. Nobody has been to heaven. You have what? America returned. You can even have space returned. You can book a flight on SpaceX and then go to space and come back. But you will never have what? Heaven returned person. Non-verifiable belief. And besides, there is a veil between two janmas, between two births. You don't remember anything. You don't know that there is a life. But to help ourselves to this belief, see, belief means what? Since it is non-verifiable, it's not that if I don't believe in rebirth, I am right. No. If I say I do not believe in rebirth, that is also what? Belief. If I say I believe in rebirth, it is what? Belief. In both ways it is a belief. This we have to understand. One is not scientific fact. It's not. Not at all. In fact, there is a big study being conducted on rebirth. And a lot of people have memories from past lives, and in all different European countries, India, everything. Most occurrences of rebirth are in India for some reason. And then the rest of it is in some other places also. And they are doing a research on this. They are writing a book, two scientists. Forgot their names. But then there is no proof. But if I help myself to this belief out of Shraddha because the Vedas says so, then I am in a better place than if I choose not to believe. If I choose not to believe, then what I have? Only this life. Then there is panic. Then I have to make a bucket list of all the things I have to do before I die. And then I may never get to do them. There is a sense of atripti. There is no sense of satisfaction. Contentment will never come if this is the only thing that is there. Even Vedanta, if I don't finish studying, one is depressed. I'll become depressed. But if there is a next life, fantastic, I'll continue. What's the rush? Let me continue. Oh, I could not have these experiences. Doesn't matter. Better luck next time. Next time I'll have a different body, a stronger body, a more able body to enjoy all these things. So we can help ourselves also with some logic. What is the logic? The logic is, if nothing can be put in this universe and nothing can be taken out of this universe, if nothing in this universe, which we are talking of what, even the insentient things in this universe cannot be destroyed, what to talk of I, the sentient being? How can it be destroyed? This is how I help myself. Rebirth, karma, all this is a model. Until one gains this knowledge, it gives a lot of just relief. It's a shock absorber. It's wonderful. So there is no reason not to believe. Okay. Then, I have been studying Vedanta from Vijayji and other Swamijis for over 10 years. Congratulations. Also have been trying to balance between study and samsara duties. What are the milestones to see my progress towards Atmajnana? We will borrow the rubric from Swami Paramarthanandaji. Swami Paramarthanandaji has a nice little formula. In the beginning, the samsara attacks as manifested in my temper, as manifested in my meltdowns, as manifested in my drama, are frequent. Every minute of every hour of every day, I have to be what? Vigilant. I have to be there. I have to, I fall apart. With Vedanta, the frequency of the falling apart decreases. Before it was several times a day, now it may be once a week. This is how one has grown. Then the other one is that before, when I had a samsara attack, it would take, it was very intense. All the china in the house would be gone, broken. Now I only need to break one plate. You see how much I have grown? Intensity is less, reduces. Then finally, before, when I was having a samsara meltdown, samsaric meltdown, I was under the covers for a week. Now the recovery time is very less. I'm able to completely recover very quickly. I can just dust it off and say, yes, that was a little lapse. Now I am back. This is what it is. This is Swami Paramarthanandaji's, he calls it what? FIR. The frequency, the intensity and the recovery time is all reduced. So I know I'm growing in my life. I'm making progress and I'm growing. I know that. Then to that I would like to add, I become more accommodative, less reactive, more responsive. I can let things be. I can let somebody win the argument even though I know they are wrong. I say, go for it. It doesn't matter. Why? Because I don't need that validation to know I'm right. 2 plus 2 is 7. Okay. Why? Because the person happens to be the brother-in-law. Okay. Yeah. I don't have to accommodate his beliefs. I have to accommodate him because he's family. And so therefore, okay, go for it. 2 plus 2 is 7, fine. No comment. So this is how, when there is the heart becomes big enough so that even the biggest galaxies of the universe can enter without there being a tumult. I become big enough to accommodate not only my own frailties and liabilities, but those of others as well. This does not make me a doormat. Far from that. I become big enough to absorb that without really condoning it. I don't have to condone it, but I can just accommodate it. Why? Because that is where they are. If they could also be bigger, they would. Because who doesn't want to be big? Everybody wants to be big. Big means Brihat, Brahman. The root word Brahman means Brihi Vriddhau, big. Everybody wants to be big. Everybody wants to be limitless. If they could, they would. But they can't. But you know what? Because of so much grace of studying with so many Swamis, studying here and studying with Vijayji, etc., I have grown. You can tell yourself, I have grown. I can afford to be big. And when I am big, then all the smallness I can accommodate. Without any rancor, without any pain, without any difficulty. I can allow that. That's how one lives. That's all the questions there were. Anything else that one wants to ask? Yes. Online question.
Hari Om. We are extremely blessed to be sitting in front of you, Swamiji, and to listen to today's discourses on Sat Darshanam. On behalf of Arshavidya Center and from all of us, owe you a debt of gratitude for all that you have done over the years to teach us your wisdom of self-knowledge. Arshvidya has all great acharyas, such as you, whose teaching have not only enlightened my path, but also have shaped my character in profound ways. You unfolded beautifully Darshanam. Topic is advanced, but beautifully you unfolded the teaser verses. We are so grateful to learn from teachers like you. Area of stagnation on self-knowledge is brought us, and we have to make conviction in our life. Without teacher-student, there is no Shravana, there is no learning. How do we assimilate this knowledge? Continue studying is very important. Thank you very much for beacon of inspiration in our lives. I encourage every one of you to get involved in Arshavidya Center and for more Acharyas retreats and aim for Seva. Last but not least, your donations are appreciated, payable to help cover the cost of such activities, so we can go more of such retreats that help us to continue to make progress in our life, in self-knowledge, under the guidance of such acharyas. If you want to make contributions to Swamiji directly, cash, credit card, or checks to arshavg.org. Thank you for attending. If you would like such talks and any suggestions, please write it to ABC or talk to Raj or myself. We would love to hear it from you. Hari Om.
Oh, that's it. Thank you very much. Om Namah Shivaya. Are we giving out prasad?
So
What shall we do?
So
Yeah.
we can take the blessings from Swamiji. Everyone just go one by one to have the prasad.
Yeah, so
Get the prasad.
we are giving out these contemplation cards.
Oh,
I will
so
demonstrate what to do with them. Give me one packet.
also
I will
like to
demonstrate.
In the front or is
Anyway, doesn't matter. You tell me where to sit, I'll sit. Yes, go ahead.
if anyone has not got a
letter that
copy of her poem, which she just formulated, is excellent. It's a very good Nididhasanam.
binding the mind.
Yeah.
Mine
Wonderful. It is wonderful.
Yeah, here. Here. Pick one.
Ah,
These are the contemplation cards. I have sent a bunch to Eugene. Janani, you will get them, distribute them to everybody. Okay, whoever wants. And I'm coming to Atlanta, so you will get it in Atlanta, wherever you are. Praveen has been very kind to send them everywhere. And so, thank you, Praveen. Yes.